So I'm going to start chapter 9, Brotherhood of the Oak, Sisterhood of the Rose. And it says, Adele and Billicum says, greetings and blessings to our brothers and sisters of the earth's interior and those on the surface of Mother Earth. We are Andel, the Brotherhood of the Oak, and Billicum, the Sisterhood of the Rose. We came to you today as emissaries of our people for the purpose of expanding your consciousness of another kingdom on a planet that you know little about. Indeed, we are aware that you have yet many other kingdoms to discover on your planet as your conscious expands and embraces vibrational love in greater measure. The discovery of other kingdoms that you never knew existed will bring much joy and new songs to your heart. And this is where in the natives we pray to the earth and to all the different things. And this is where people don't understand dimensions. When they open and they see things, they freak out. Together as a very large family, we comprise together as a very large family, we comprise a gathering of energies that represent both the planet and the crystal kingdom, including stones and minerals. We are a race of explorer beings, shall we say, who have investigated, stored, and dispensated the full radiance of energy and beauty that are to be found in these kingdoms. Our mission has been our mission has been in process for many millennium, and we have played an active role in the history of the planet since the time of Lemuria. Our existence predates Lemuria, but our awakening as such in service did not happen until the heart of Lemuria was awakened. We are beings who would appear smaller in structure than the images you have of our Lemurian cousins, but our energy signature is very long. If you were to view us in your realm, we of the Brotherhood of the Oak would look very much like the hobbits of popular literature, and we of the Sisterhood of the Rose would look very much like drawings of fairies. In the etheric realm, however, the Brotherhood appears as very tall, shimmering green beings who exude an extremely powerful energy that connects in through your solar plex. So through here is that connection to these beings. And like I say, there's a lot of things that have to do with the solar plex chakra and run from there down through the lower chakras into the earth herself. The sisterhood appears like a pulsing rose pink ball of energy that connects in through your heart chakra and flows up to your seventh chakra to connect with divine source. So the masculine connects down into the earth, and the other one connects with the feminine and up into the universe. Together we nurture the energies of human beings who inhabit the surface of the earth whenever they journey into the nature realms in which we exist. These journeys can be taken in the physical or etheric realm. We are available whenever we are called to share with you, and we will imbue your physical and etheric body with the radiance of the plants and the crystal kingdoms. To contact us and interact with us, simply set an intention to invite us into your energies. This will allow us to sample your current energetic state and interact with us. Simply set an intention to invite us into your energies. This will allow us to sample your current energetic state and interact with us. Simply set an intention to invite us into your energies. This will allow us to sample your current energetic state. So I started into this next one, and it's about these beings, and they connect with your solar plex or your heart chakra. So the female divas of nature, they connect to your heart chakra and to the universe. The male ones connect to your solar plex and the earth mother. And if you have crystals in that, they're the ones that energize in that. If you got crystals in your home in that, this is where they can clear and clean them and all kinds of other things. And they can amp up the energies and everything and really help you when you understand. Together we nurture the energies of human beings who inhabit the surface of the earth whenever they journey into the natural realm in which we exist. These journeys can be taken in physical or etheric realms. We are available whenever you call to share with you, and we will endue your physical and etheric body with the radiance of the plant and crystal kingdom. To contact us, interact with us, simply set an intention to invite us into your energy. And that's where you got to give permission. I always say this, yeah, when you pray and do things, you got to give permission. And then you'll start feeling these connections. When you go places, you'll start feeling the vortexes. You'll feel all kinds of energy. If you go in a bookstore, hey, Brian Conway, you go in a rock store, and you're going in there, and all of a sudden you feel the energy off crystals, or you're drawn to something. They're trying to help you, but the more permission you give, the more you're going to become conscious of all these energies. This will allow us to sample your current energetic state and send back to you whatever energies are needed to provide balance in your energy fields. We work closely with the consciousness of any crystals that you may have within your environment, as well as the energies of plants and trees that are growing around you. And that's why having your tree, if you know your tree and you grow it around you, that tree will connect with you. And if you look at the Celtic astrology, it tells you a tree for every month. And in natives, even when we have our pipes, it's like you want to connect with your tree and you want that stem from the tree to connect you with that tree and with the earth and creation. And now when you have your pipe, and trees, like I say, some people, they grow trees around their house and they connect with that and the trees help them. We have spent our incarnation on this planet exploring, cataloging, and understanding, creating various forms and methodologies for the full radiance of each species of plants and crystal life on your planet. Each individual species, be it flora or fauna, rock or ether, has its own color, its own spectrum of radiance, its own ray vibration, and its correspondence too. Within this set of characteristics, there are also individual variations as you move from instance through a considerable variety of roses. We have explored all of these and stored remembrance and qualities for all that we have experienced. In effect, we represent the living, breathing library of the plant and crystal kingdom. In this, I'll go back to like the part. So they're the breathing, living library of the plant and crystal kingdoms. In the respect, we work closely with all beings of the earth's interior to balance and harmonize the environments that have been created to sustain them. We also work with all beings on the surface that can and will harmonize with our energies. You know very well one such being by the name of Edward Bach. From your recent Earth history, his work with flower essence was guided by his interactions with us in the etheric realms. His garden and woods in the region of Great Britain were favored places for our invocation of the radiance of the plant kingdom. And so he connected with them, and that's where he created the Bach remedies that are used to heal people. And so these beings connected with him either through solar plex or through heart, and they connected and gave him all this knowledge to work with the plants. And that's where shamans and that, they're in tune with these beings. Like my granddad would go in the forest and say prayers, and he just knew what he could do with the plants and everything. And this is what they call the witches over in Europe. They were all tuned into these beings, and these beings would show them the plants, that if somebody was sick, which plants and how to make the right kind of teas and stuff that would heal people. That's why they wiped them out, because they didn't want people to do this. They didn't want people to connect with this. And by killing them, they created fears and all kinds of stuff. So these beings are there when you start really trusting and working with them. And if you're truly a shaman, like even in Central America, they're all connected to the plants. And these beings work with these people, so they understand what the plants can do for people and how it can help. So Bach was able to connect in with that and create the block remedies. Many others have continued to increase the repertoire of essence, which are part of this emergence of planet energies and their usage to assist the surface population. The knowledge that we hold of these energies is available to all that wish to experience and work with them. That's why I say get to know the plants where you live, all the roots, berries, herbs, everything. Try to get to know them because it's really important. All you need to do is to contact us to receive our information. Indeed, these same energies may also be drawn to you at any time just by calling on the essence or energy by name. The same holds true for energies and essence of the crystals in Mineral Kingdom. That's why whenever I hold a crystal, I always ask to connect with its soul energy, with its highest vibration. Does it want to teach or show me or help me or whatever? And I'll ask if a crystal wants to come home with me, and I'll be drawn right to it. Our work with the guardians of the inner earth has been to safeguard these vibrations from the disruptions that have been part of the Earth's surface evolution. Each of us is a repository for the specific individual vibration. We hold this vibration from the time of birth, pass it on to another at the time of our transition from this realm, so they pass on their knowledge from one generation to the next. So it says here, we exist everywhere on the planet, and we are also part of the network of the Earth's interior society that have existed since the inception of the Earth consciousness. So this goes way, way back. That's why I say we've been on this Earth billions of years, learning, growing, doing all kinds of stuff. But they try to say we're only just evolved from whatever. We are in contact with all of those other societies, and we form a virtual university of information, experience, vibration, impressions for all who wish to explore them. We live, for the most part, in a dimension that is slightly beyond yours as a third dimension transit into the fourth. We are just outside of your vision, so to speak, but can be easily seen by those who already see beyond the dimensional veils. And that's why when you see nature spirits, sometimes they might look really, really scary. And like I say, they're not bad spirits. That's what you see as gargoyles on churches. Some of those were nature spirits and they could see this, but they wanted to destroy and make us afraid of them. Although we can lower vibrations and appear to you in your dimension with relative ease, we generally choose not to do so, because we are part of the task force who is working to help you raise your vibration instead. If all of us in the fourth and fifth dimension were to appear to you in your current state, there would be no motivation for you to move beyond it. We are in effect dangling a carrot to motivate you and ask each of you to take the step necessary to raise your vibration and join us here in our dimension and beyond. The Earth herself has taken that very same step of working very closely with us, as she is doing all in her power to raise herself and humanity to the next level and eventually to her full ascended state. It is most important that we all work together for the same goal of assisting her in the most awesome journey. And it says, we invite you to call upon us whenever you wish. You can call in energies of any flower or tree or ask for a member of the Brotherhood who holds the signature appear to you. The same is true with the energies of any crystal. Simply call in the energy and ask that the member of the sisterhood who hold the energy to appear to you. This may happen on the etheric or in the physical plane, depending on your openness to receive, but be assured that the contact will be there. The use of flower essence, crystal essence, will also assist you to make this contact, for they provide the physical body a recognizable signature to tune into. And there's energies that you tune into that will really amp up things and do all kinds of stuff. And like the water has always run over rocks and crystals, the water have always absorbed this. But when they run it through a plant and that, and they strip all the energies, and then they send it through the pipes into your home, they kill the energy. And like I say, there's lots of things, and water is one of the most intelligent things. We have also begun to bestow on each child born on the surface today a set of characteristics that hold these vibrations within their DNA. Your crystal children who are incarnating now hold these vibrations, and in fact, each child holds a vibration of a specific crystal. And this is where they talk about the crystal children. And this is explaining that about these children. Subsequent generations will continue to be endued with various aspects of this energy until the full radiance of the crystal kingdom is present in the DNA of all people incarnated. Soon the surface population will become a living crystal matrix of energies that hold the consciousness of the earth in balance. Generations of rose children carrying within the DNA the pure essence of earth love are already incarnating on the surface of your planet. They are coming to heal the emotional body of the earth, and they're the new Adams and Eves, and to reinvest her with the truth of her divine origin. Through this healing, you will manifest the return to paradise on the surface that you have so longed for. After a time, all who incarnate here will carry the full radiance of all of these vibrations, and our time in service on this planet will come to an end. So they will move on. They don't need to be here anymore. So they're going to shift into whatever is a higher planes of existence where they're going to travel on. And that's where people will finish up things too. There are people who will ascend and they're done here on this planet. Those who reside within the earth have long carried these energies within them. This allows for the creation manifestation of crystal structures, of glorious, joyful, and abundant ecosystems and balance energy within all their environments. It is a type of living that will transform the surface world when these energies are fully embodied and understood, for the true nature of crystals is to absorb and hold, or to act as a generating lens for the truest expression of divine source energy. The true nature of the heart is to create what one loves and love what one creates without condition. And that's why, what are you manifesting? What are you creating? Do you really love it? Do you really want to live in that? Is that really your truth? And it's like natives, like these elders, Cree elders that I met. And one day I was sitting with these elders and they're like, "You're a rock person." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" They says, "Oh, you're one of the rock people." I'm like, "Really?" I said, "The first people on this planet were the rock people." And they said, "You're really, really ancient and you're a rock person." And then they started telling me about creation, and they started with the rocks and they started going down creation to where we are at here, and they were channeling this from the universe. And I was like, it went on for a really long time, and when they were finished, I was just blown away by this knowledge and awareness. And I think these elders were tuned in with these beings and others, and they were just channeling all this knowledge to me, and was just putting all kinds of things together, helping me understand how big things are and how we are connected to that reality. Natives are really in tune with this. As your brothers and sisters who live within the earth strive to help you to open yourself more and more and more to the fullness of your vibration, we work together to provide magnificent tools for your awakening. And that's why the crystals have come out and people really connected with them, buy them, try to have them in their homes. And like I say, these beings are trying to connect either your solar plex or your heart. Your heart is a pink energy that goes into the universe, is the female energy. The solar plex is masculine. It goes through your solar plex into the earth. So when you want to ground, you can have them come in and help you with grounding and other things. And this is, like I say, there's a lot more to it. Our relationship with current citizens of the Telos is a colleague one. We are here to assist them in harmonizing the vibrations of the surface so that they may emerge in the near future to join together with the many incarnated Lemurians who live in Mount Shasta area and across the planet. We provide our assistance in part by adding specific energies to these grids that emanate from Telos through Mount Shasta. This grid is administered by Adama to assist in the reopening of the energies for all who live in Mount Shasta area, in all areas on the planet where people are ready to embody their full Christ presence. The grid has many components and many different levels of energy. A great variety of different beings are employed in this work to allow Adam the full latitude in the transmissions directed through the grid. The grid itself is multidimensional, and indeed the citizens of Telos themselves are part of and also transformed into its energies. We are all part of a much greater purpose, and this grid composes one of the many ways that energies are being harmonized on your planet at this time. Adama and this team in Telos who seed the grid with a higher energetic life force necessary to penetrate the denser dimensionality of the surface use our knowledge and library of vibrational signatures from various plants and crystals. We create an energy wave from each signature that is then sent through the grid so that the intensity may be harmonized to the first available level above the current surface vibration. At times, this wave is sent through at the second level of intensity above the surface vibration. These are times of more rapid transformations. The two levels above is the highest we can transmit this wave of majority of surface beings are going to be able to integrate. So we bring in this new energy through these higher levels or through the earth, and that's where they say walk on the earth with your bare feet. But then it's like tune into these other vibrations that can come in. Our activities extend to all cities in our Gatha network as the Middle Earth, Inner Earth. In Telos, they have contributed greatly by our work to the exquisite beauties that has been created there, including the material they use for their extended technology, their various modes of transportation, their technology for the rapid renewal of the food supply to feed both the people and the animals. We are also assisting in the creation of wonderful crystals that form the structures of most of their temples and the beautiful stones they use as material to construct their wonderful homes. We can work with them closely and assist them to create constant miracles in their lives because their vibration is one of constant love and harmony. We share with you always the love and support for your journey that your brothers and sisters in Telos do. There are many among us who wish to be among the first waves who journey out from the realms of light within the earth to meet you personally. And this, my friend, we are planning and hoping to do soon. The time has now come for all who inhabit this beautiful planet to join together in love, brother and sisterhood as one family. We have already done so in the etheric. It is now time to do it in your realm. Your perceptivity, your awareness is all that is needed to make this happen. We live in a land of pure magic, the realms where unicorns and dragons roam and multi-hued forces, where the songbirds create pillows on which you can float. We live where you can converse naturally with the clouds that will carry your love back to source of all. In our dimension, all beings know and trust their intrinsic nature and the glow that is created from our love and harmonic forms a blanket of energy that nurtures each one of us. We invite you to visit us here whenever you wish and to evolve the consciousness of this realm in your everyday awareness. We invite you to the planet in the gardens of your heart to nurture the flowers of your dreams and uncover the crystals of your soul. We honor your tree of life in the forest of us all. Many, many blessings and great wishes of joy for your safe return home, the land of love and magic. We are Adele and Bitcombe sharing with you the energies of the Brotherhood of Oak and Sister of the Rose. I thought this was from, because what I keep getting is about the Masonic group, and I'm trying to remember where I read that stuff. So I'm sorry I said that here, but there's a book that talks about Masons and stuff and all kinds of stuff, and it keeps playing in my mind, and I keep going through this and trying to remember where this book is. It feels like at some point I will find this book and maybe read it and share what it says in there with people. So chapter 10, we are crystal beings. Billy come. The Sisterhood of Rose exists, as do many other societies of crystal matrix energy workers, to hold a space for humankind and Earth herself to move into the fullness of the crystalline structures. The magnetic grid work that was completed earlier this year allowed for the re-energizing of crystal grids within the planet. This crystal grid is now growing again. Structurally, crystals grow by adding on. The process involves the energy of transformation through the fire, earth, and water elements, which is, in truth, a blending together and a fusion of masculine feminine energies. The pure crystalline form then becomes a transmitter of this combined energy. Within the structure of the human DNA, the same process is now beginning to unfold. You are adding on to your structure and the formations needed to hold the higher and purer vibrations. And that's why I say our bodies are machines. And we got to have all these things. That's why you got to eat silica and you got to eat things. You got to know what's in your food. Hey, see, Tibbets. Because food is really, really depleted, and a lot of people don't understand that there's a lot of silica, there's a lot of other kinds of things, and we need that in our bodies. And sometimes we really crave that, and we need to put it in to help our bodies get these vibrations and things. Hey, being moi. And so, really understanding food as a medicine, really understanding plants, anything you drink, eat, and do, understand it's going to change you inside if you're putting the right things in. But they're trying to destroy all of that. That's why people are getting sick really easy, because they're not able to absorb these things. Whereas in the past, everything had this vibration. They now do more hydroponic stuff so they can deplete all the energies and everything. That's why in farms they put chemicals so the plants aren't absorbing all this natural stuff. So when you eat it, your body is starving because it's not getting what it needs. Structurally, crystals grow by adding on. I read that. Okay. So, by getting more of these crystals and things to bring in higher and purer vibrations, humans are beginning to open up fully and fuse within themselves a combined energy of masculine and feminine. That's why we got to balance both masculine and feminine. And a lot of women believe men are becoming really gay and soft and all of that. No, they're incorporating their feminine, and they have to have the male and female energies balanced. And women, a lot of women have gone really masculine. They're really, really in the masculine, but they got to balance the male and the female. They are beginning to understand on an energetic level that duality that exists within their own being and on the planet herself is actually a polarity that represents the full spectrum of harmonics. They are now willing to embrace this polarity and enter into the new phase of development. And you see a lot of these young boys in that, they'll dress up like girls. And they're trying to understand their femininity and their masculinity. You see a lot of young girls trying to dress up like guys. And they're trying to understand the masculine and the feminine. And they're on this earth is they're trying to make people all confused and saying, "Oh, you're too spirit. Oh, you're meant to be a woman. So go get a gender operation and this and that." And they're confusing these kids instead of letting them figure out this duality and find the beauty within themselves and live to be who they are, not go through really, really terrible operations and having to take all kinds of medications and that to stay that gender. Because if you're going to become a man, You have to take really, really lots of testosterone for your body to stay like a physical man so you can grow hair and everything. But if you're born a girl, that's not natural. And for a man to go into being a woman, he has to take really, really lots of stuff. So he'll get rid of facial hairs in his body, he'll get feminine, and he'll grow boobs. And they're trying to trick them into doing these things, and they don't. They just need to understand how to balance these things. And that's where even men and women now are going into this balance, more male and female balance. And people who are really, really spiritual in that, they're really in that balance. I've always been in that. The evolution of the earth beyond the concept and experience of duality has begun. Many of the recognized energetic spots on the planet, such as Sedona and most particularly Mount Shasta, have shifted their energetics away from the masculine or feminine vibrations into a blended vibration that holds all of the resonance of divine spark and sacred feminine. The humankind itself has now begun the same journey. We of the Sisterhood of the Rose, like our counterparts in the Brotherhood of the Oak, are beings who serve the entire planet. We have our planetary headquarters within Mount Shasta and work very closely with all civilizations of the Earth interior, including Lemurian energies. This is the Lemurian energy described as the heart of Lemuria that is leading the way forwards in consciousness, in great service to the planet and the surface humanity, in preparation for the great reunion. Along with all the civilizations of our inner or middle earth, we are all working together to create all the energetic structures necessary to return the earth to a reunion with the divine and invest all who inhabit her with a community of heart that once existed here. And that's where we're all going to go back into that highest energies and we're going to become fifth dimensional beings. We'll never ever do stupid things to the earth. We'll live in harmony with everything in creation. We'll never kill one another or war or anything ever again. And that's where we're coming to. The children who are entering into incarnation today already possess these structures. And I keep saying that they already are born for the future. And if you sit with children, they'll tell you things. And they'll say all kinds of stuff. They can communicate with the Earth Mother really easy. They can see the future and they'll tell you about stuff in the future and that they're not crazy and they're not daydreaming. They're actually telling a truth and they're going to stop alcoholism on the planet, drug abuse, and all this crap. They're going to end it. It will not be in the future. And they won't be a part of churches and a lot of other things that don't honor life. They're going to wipe out all kinds of churches and beliefs and that they won't have anything to do with it because they make you war and fight. You all, okay. Where am I here? Okay, along with all the children who are entering into incarnation today also possess these new structures. They already have the innate understanding of the world beyond duality. They already connect to each other through an understanding of the strength of a blend of masculine feminine aspects. We will continue to honor as these support the human experience. And a lot of them have telekinesis abilities and they talk to one another all over the world. And if you go to a site where it's called the Crystal Children, really lots of them have come on this site and they've been sharing and talking with one another and teaching through this site. And it's been around since I think it's about 2000, 2010. It's been around quite a while. Okay, so now those of you who are already here have the greatest and, in one sense, most important task. That's why you got to be the teachers of these children. You got to support and help them understand to stay in their truth and not get pulled into all kinds of silly stuff. You have held the resonance of the earth and her current vibrational levels in your system the longest. It is with you that most identify herself as she evolves into the higher levels of awareness. So the Earth Mother is trying to shift up and change all of this. You all came here at this time for this significant purpose. As each of you adds on your structure, she adds on her own. That's why if you're bringing in this energy, you're helping the Earth Mother. That's why I say ask for this new energy. Invite it. Invite all these new spirits, all these new things that are a part of the future. If you want to be a part of that, ask for it. Let it change you. Let it heal you. Let it help you learn how to live in this energy before it comes. And then when you're there, you're going to be able to do all kinds of stuff. As each of you adds on your structure, she adds on her own. As each of you opens your consciousness and heart to the fullness of the shift that is now taking place, she gains resonance for her own evolution. You link in incarnation to those of us who hold these pure crystalline energies in the etheric is designed to express in the physical these same energy structures. We are here to advise you in this, but we cannot predict for you the choice for you, or choose the path that your journey will take. That's why I can't choose or tell anybody what to do or not to. I can give you the information. You choose. It is up to each individual to chart the course that best suits his or her energies. We can and do hold the space for you to do this, assisting you with all of the options and potentials that exist. We have the most important task, however, because it is in the physical that the greatest change must take place, to assist the planet in her evolution and her awakening. You will feel much shifts taking place in your physical body. Some may feel that the organs are not functioning properly, or that the energy levels that have always been fairly stable now feel very different. This is where people are paranoia all the time. You may feel a great and immediate need to change your diet in terms of food you eat and the amount of food you consume. You will feel a great desire to cleanse your body of levels of emotional and physical toxicity that has built up for lifetimes upon lifetimes. And that's where we're doing that generational healing. And this is where we got to clear ourselves. That's why we got to go to the right people to clear out energies. And that's what I try to do for people. All of these physical shifts must be honored. An impulse to nurture your physical body must be heeded. There are many products that will emerge in your near future, some that have already shown up that nurture your body on a far deeper level than what is most prevalent in your commercial society. It is important that you search for these products and then share the information in your own communities and circles. And that's why there's a lot of stuff coming in to pay attention to. Like I say, there's this wand. You can use it to wand your body and your water and that. And there are other things I spoke about that are here now that will help people in lots of ways. You have always honored and incorporated the crystal communities into your lives. In modern times, we have inhabited your community devices and computers, and we have held space for you through the jewelry and the adornments that you wear. Many of you have also recognized us in a more natural form and have carried us into your homes and temples. Those of you who see us in the etheric have recognized our more human forms and greet us as such. Understand that whatever way you choose to invite our energies in, we are here to support you in reaching the fullness of your potential in physical form. We are here with you to support the planet in reaching her highest potential in the physical form. Then it says the great central core of the planet, known as the inner central sun, is indeed a great crystal. It exists in a fifth dimensional vibration, broadcasting to the planet the vibrations that she will be evolving to. So the Earth Mother is trying to connect to us and she wants us to be a part of this evolution, but we have to choose it and we got to want to work with her. And this is why I say talk to the Earth Mother. Ask her to show you how to get into the future, how to help her. Like I say, I'm a spark plug. I walk on top of her and I can ask Creator and all kinds of energies to go through me and straight into the earth so she can use it. And this is where I pray Sunday night, and I do my prayer about calling that energy to the earth and blessing her. Everybody needs to pray that this happens, and then her children and all these other things, they get their energy. And I go through all of that before I say we receive our energies. So when I do this prayer, this is what I'm doing. The great central crystal sun within the core of the planet is similar to the vibration and energetic supported by the great central crystal sun in the universe. And that's where I call on that energy when I first start praying, to call this energy through our sun to radiate and do all of these things, which operates in a much higher dimension and energetic structure. The being known as the Great Crystal Master is the one embodying this energy from the very core of the great central sun of of this universe, radiating and nourishing all other crystal suns in this universe. Using a vocabulary of terminology that you can understand, he is a supreme master, the head of all crystalline consciousness for this universe, in service to the Father, Mother, God of this universe, Alpha and Omega. He allocates much of the energy and efforts at this time to support the great shift that is presently taking place, assisting in the resurrection and restoration of this planet to her original glorious destiny. An important portion of his vast consciousness is now here within the earth, assisting in adding to our local inner crystalline central sun energy and other crystals as well. So that vibration is getting bigger and stronger as these beings of the universe are trying to help us to move up in a higher energy. So I'm just going to finish this and then I'll start the next chapter afterwards. Around the planet, there are other fifth dimensional crystals that hold energies from the great central crystal. The crystal of the third and fourth dimensions that inhabit the planet gain their forms from this ring of the fifth dimensional crystal. We on the etheric side are the consciousness in the form of a great central crystal. We are one of the many representatives of the love and the light that shines from the heart of the planet. Once the magnetic grid shifts was completed, we are able to begin the next phase of our work on the planet. We have begun to work with groups of individuals, large and small, to tutor them in working with the crystalline grid and the many healing and transformational techniques that are becoming available through this expansion. Each of these groups will soon begin to share on a global level the information that they have been given. The function of the crystalline energy has always been twofold. We are transmitters of energy beyond the physical world, and we are repositories of information. That's why they say if you get your crystal from Lemuria, if you take it, you're going to get all the knowledge. It's like a library. And there are people from Lemuria that hid their crystals in different parts of the world, and when they're ready, they will have this crystal. And that's why certain crystals call you and show up in your life, and you're supposed to honor and respect them, not abuse and use them and suck the life and energy out of them. It's like you gotta love them too. You gotta give them love and everything. I don't use crystals unless I feel it's necessary, and then I'll ask permission. I don't just grab it and just force it to do anything. The functions of crystal energy has always been twofold. We are transmitters and energies beyond the physical world, and we were repositories of information. Today we begin the most important second part of our work as the consciousness of humankind and the planet once again awakens to the information that we hold and we long to share with all you. You will hear us called by many names in the coming months. Many groups will contact us and manifest different parts of our mission on the physical planet. The work that each of you perform in part of this same great work, we will present ourselves to you in whatever form is most appropriate for the gathering of the individuals involved. For each of you still carry your own set of images and forms that we must connect through to reach you. And this is where if you see them as angels with big wings, that's what they're going to show themselves to you. If you, whatever form you think they are, they're going to create that image for you so you'll feel safe and you'll be able to work with them. And that's why there's many kinds of beings, and some you will think are actually negative and they're not, and they're trying to show themselves to you, and everybody is freaked out and getting paranoid for all kinds of reasons. Hey Rose, you will hear us be called by many names in the coming months. Many groups will contact us and manifest different parts of our mission in the physical plane. The, the work that each of you perform is part of the same great work. We will present ourselves to you in whatever form is most appropriate for the gathering of individuals involved, for each of you still carry your own set of images and forms that we must connect through to reach you. We ask you not to imprint your own experience of us by asking the images, forms, or names that others have shared with you without first checking in through your own knowingness. And that's where I go by what I know. And I will see things around people and I will ask questions and that, but sometimes, like I say, you have to go into your own knowingness. Like when I sit in the churches, I can look at their heavens. I can sit in Buddhism and I can look in their heavens. I can look in native spirituality and look in their heavens, and I can see the differences in all kinds of things. But I'm open to all of that, and I'm open to all the light and everything in creation. When I sit in nature and I connect with something in nature, I see through that. And this is where there's lots of kinds of filters. But if you're afraid, you can't open these things. Hey, Tracy. The ego of human beings is a powerful force, a necessary force. That's why you can't get rid of it and destroy it. But one that must be integrated with the whole, not the only voice that is followed. The most important work in this regard, therefore, is to know yourself. It is through your own crystalline center that we will communicate with you. Choose for yourself a physical crystal or crystals and work with them to experience the vibration of your own crystal center. Ask these crystals to attune themselves to your core vibration and to them then help you to expand and evolve this vibration at the pace that is appropriate for you in the individual. And this is where you don't bliss out. You don't try to go boom, really high. You got to do it gradually, slowly. You got to bring the energies up. And that's going to activate inside you and outside you all kinds of stuff. And it's going to cause you to heal and go through all kinds of stuff. Ask these crystals to attune themselves to your core vibration and to then help you to expand and evolve this vibration at a pace that is appropriate for you as an individual. As you complete your work with one set of crystals, be open to a new crystal teacher who enters your path. And this is where crystals come along. I have given crystals to a lot of people and they've thrown them in the garbage. And I've been asked to take crystals into sweat lodges and all kinds of things and ask God to bless them. And then I bring them to a person and they feel the energy and they freak out and they throw them away. I've given out crystals to people for years. I've prayed that they connect with these crystals and they tried to suck the energy right out of the crystal. And then they want more and more from me and I just stop. I'm like, no. If I give somebody a crystal, I'm giving it to them for a reason. This is not a time for all to follow one mode or a model of transformation. This is a time for each of you to follow your own model and know that his or her work adds to the whole to create a new model or paradigm for the planet. The work that you do as individuals creates a group work, and the work that groups do together creates a societal work. As society work together, the planet shifts. I am Billikam from the Crystal People, honored to be one of your teachers. And this is where I'm like, people have to understand these things are living, they're conscious. So, chapter 11, message from Poseid, Posid. Greetings, beloved brothers, sisters. I am Galadriel, Third level member of the Council of Poseidon beneath Mato Grosso in the country of Brazil. I have been in this position for many of your lifetimes. I have spent much of my service reaching out to heal the energies of the past and thus the present. We who inhabit and we who inhabit the resurrected city of Poseidon know the wondrous and beauty community of light in the fifth dimension, and all of us living in our Atlantean energy cities within the earth recognize there is a great distrust for our vibration. And it says, many of you who experienced the cataclysms of the fall of Atlantis still carry this remembrance of emotional trauma and physical pain. The energies of these experiences, the masculine overwhelm of mental energies that suppress the feminine balance of the heart, are still creating emotions of fear and anguish within many of you who would now be interested in initiating any kind of communications with us. So a lot of people are wanting to now connect with these beings. But this is where you see still the Roman Catholic Church. It's all masculine, trying to stop the woman. It's like all governments are trying to stop women. And that feminine has to come back into balance. For this reason, we ask that you please allow yourself to release the prior connections with us that you hold through the mind and bring the energies of your deep love for our deep love for you once again into your heart. Since the destruction of our continent, we have done much work to evolve our consciousness to embrace the energies of love from the heart. We have toiled steadfastly to rebalance the energies we were so carelessly misusing in the past. And they misused it, that blew them up, basically destroyed most of them. Today it is with much joy and deep gratitude that we thank you for allowing us the opportunity to reach out to you and speak to your hearts. If you will allow it, we will bring great healing to you and your soul and the release of trauma that so many, if not most of you on the surface, have been subjected to in the past. We who held ourselves in such high esteem in the Atlantean of old and who rocked our planet so violently with our ego and misuse of technology, have spent much of our time since in service to the earth and the earth's interior. We have lived in service to the elements and nature spirits of the planet, and in service to our beloved Lemurian brothers and sisters, to balance the karma, the damage, and the deep pain that was suffered by all of you. We have also learned much about the craving of the soul for knowledge and how these desires must be balanced by the deeper knowingness of the heart. Beyond rocks. After the sinking of Atlantis, it was our Lemurian brothers and sisters who offered themselves and their expertise to become mentors for our next evolutionary step. Many of our guides are healers and teachers as such who held the energies of compassion, wisdom, and understanding to allow us to evolve have been from Telos. Many were from other Lemurian cities as well. For a very long time, their assistance, their love, their acceptance of us has been for many, myself included, the only light that shone in a very dark place within our hearts and souls. Our connection to them was a bond that has carried us higher and higher into the consciousness of love, the true brotherhood. We invite humanity to do the same. And it says here, we live beneath the regions of Brazil, beneath the highly crystalline nature of the earth in that area. So the Atlanteans, that's where they live. The Lemurians are in Mount Shasta. We are here now as guardians of these energies to keep them from being manipulated again by those who do not reflect nor understand the divine plan. In the past, we would have insisted on utilizing the tremendous force of this energy for power, domination, and control, but today we are its protectors. It is now very appropriate for us to be guardians of these energies because we have the fullest understanding of them through our experience of the unbalanced effects of their misuse. We can follow their flow with great perceptivity, evolved through millennia of observations. We do this in service to our Lemurian brothers and sisters, whom we now consider our very dear family. They are the synthesizers and harmonizers of these energies at this time in the planet's transformation. In many aspects, our lifestyles are very similar to those of Telos. All of us hold positions of responsibility within our community, and we also spend much of our time in service to the planet and our brothers and sisters now incarnated on the surface. A great deal of our work consists of programming many of the crystal tools that are emerging on the surface at this present time. We have the technology to create from the organic structures of the subterranean level of the earth a new form of crystal that emanates a much higher vibration of energy than what has been previously available on the surface. These crystals are now beginning to surface and will interact with the environment into which they are introduced to produce a detoxifying effect on all levels of denser vibration. They are very open to the conscious intentions of individuals who wish to work with them, and will work with them all who ask. They will, however, express only one intention at a time and only within the vibration of the divine plan. This is the first layer of the healing tools that will begin to emerge in the near future. These crystals will also reflect the color vibration of the individual who is currently working with them and may change color vibration if or when transferred to a different person. This is where sometimes I get crystals and then I know I have to give them to other people. And when I do that, the energy matches that person to help them. And I'm really bad for picking up crystals. And then when the time is right, I gift them to people. And when I do that, there's an energy, there's something with it when I'm told to do this. Our building of Poseid are made of very similar crystal material, and this energy has greatly contributed to healing our toxic emotions, as well as the toxic emotions of the earth herself. We hold in our hearts a great desire to be of assistance to the surface population when appropriate times emerge. We wish to contribute and support you in the creation of your own cities of light. With these same healing materials, in addition, these crystals will be available to heal your soil, or re-energize your food or water supplies and more. And that's where I think a lot of us are going to get these containers where we put crystals in, and it's going to energize the water again. That's going to re-nourish and give our bodies what it needs because of the water's been stripped and destroyed and polluted and everything else. We want to ensure all of you that all of us hold a very great desire in our hearts to manifest in all of our actions and interactions with you the love and the compassion that is needed to recreate a united civilization on this planet. It is our most heartfelt goal to assist in the manifestation this unity conscious for the planet in all of her dimensions and realms. We wish to experience with you again, face to face, the love that will bring the highest joy and grace to all of you living on the surface. It has become appropriate for us now to say that in the higher realms of the fifth dimension, Atlantis, Lemuria are fully manifesting the energies of the original plan for these continents. Atlantis represents the energy of the Divine Father, and Lemuria representing the energies of the Divine Mother. We're meant to work together in the consciousness of divine union. We were to assist in love and unity of consciousness, not only the people of our respective continents, but also to become loving guides and mentor role models of unity for other civilizations evolving on this planet for younger souls with less experience. And that's where I talk about young souls sometimes. I recognize, in recognition of the great number of lifetimes that many of you have spent attempting to distance yourself from the original vibration of Atlantis, we ask you to work with us now on a simple meditative exercise. We hope this meditation will assist you in cleansing the traumatic vibrations of the old so the new vibrations of love and harmony may seed itself in the evolving consciousness of the planet. There are many skills and technological resources created in Atlantis that many of you have direct knowledge of. It is now time for these technologies to resurface, albeit in the vibrations of love and service, not ego or power. As you clear your resistance to old energies and experiences, all that was good, all the wonders of Atlantis will rise to the surface through you. And this is where I say the machines and things from Atlantis, we're going to recreate and use them again. And I've said this many, many times. Neither the continent of Atlantis or the continent of Lemuria are destined to rise again in the physical. They will be reborn instead through the energies of those who are incarnated at this time. The gifts and resources of the civilization will be recreated, remanifested in new and shining forms by those of you who are living on the surface today. And I know there are people who are channeling, saying they're going to build these machines and that, and are waiting to come together with the right people to create stuff. Like I said, there's a machine they had in Atlantean times. You can go in and reverse age. You can heal. You can do all kinds of stuff. We invite you to journey with us now to the crystal heart of your soul. Envision a glowing center that resides behind your heart and transmits energy in undulating, pulsating waves throughout your body and into the energy fields of the earth herself. And this is where you got to give energy to the earth. And you got to let her take things, cleanse and purify your home, your life, your ancestors, your energetics, everything. And I say this in my prayer. As you focus on your own crystalline central sun, okay, skipped a part here. The energy fields of the earth herself. Your crystal center vibrates in resonance with the crystal center of the earth. As you focus your energy on the crystal center sun, reach out with your knowingness and with your love to the crystal central sun that sits in the core of the earth. And that's where you connect with the earth mother. Follow the trail of energy as it leaves you and travels into the earth, and watch for the images that appear along these waves of energy. These images may appear to you as colors or sounds. They may be scenes from a time of Atlantis. They may be geometric shapes or images of people you have known. In each instance, reach out to these images, bathing them and surrounding them in the pulsating waves of love that are emitting from your crystal heart, your sacred heart. And that's where I always say your higher heart is very, very sacred, and it's a higher energy vibration. Do not try to explain or interpret these images. That's why some things you can't put into words. So you do that, you bring it down to a negative, lower vibration, and you allow them to stay up here in a higher vibration by not trying to explain it. That knowledge will come in time of knowing and choosing when appropriate. Simply envelop these images, these energies, these transmissions from the time of Atlantis with the overwhelming love that you now offer in service to the planet and humankind. Bring each of these remnants of energy, these orphan energies, into the oneness that exists between your central sun and the central sun of the earth. And as it says, allow the pure energies of divine to heal the inner do that again. Allow the pure energies of divine to heal and inform these energies. Allow and surrender to the divine plan that holds all of us in the loving hands. And most of all, allow yourself to release eons of pain and sadness, guilt and shame. You who are incarnated now are not responsible for the errors in judgment that were made during the time of Atlantis. You are not responsible for the righting your wrongs, for in truth, there were no wrongs. And that's where people get into this evil, good, bad, warring, fighting, and that. And I'm like, you have to get out of that. That's 3D. We are not responsible for righting the wrongs, for it in truth there was no wrong. So it was a learning, it was a misunderstanding. And that's where this guilt, shame, good, bad, right, wrong, and we all fight with one another. We got to stop that. They were merely the lessons learned by a civilization that had chosen a particular path of understanding. And that path involved one of the greatest collection initiations ever presented on this planet. We who live in the time of Atlantis, and many of you were with us, did so with life choices that we would experience from every angle the separation between mind and heart. We created experiences that heightened that understanding, and we entered into them by choice. Today we reach out in greater knowingness to communicate to you all that we learned. And we ask those of you who are here with us to also reach out with your understandings from these times and communicate the same to those living around you. And that's where it's really hard to understand healing, because we're so programmed by everything around us to judge everything. And like I say, some things you can't judge. We do not wish to recreate the Atlantean cities of old. We wish to create with you the new communities that grow and evolve from the love that we share. Then it says, we will never again introduce to you technologies that will create a separation of mind and heart. We will bring our technologies into your consciousness only when you yourself have reached an anchored vibration of love and community. You will then create those tools again in the fourth and fifth dimension plane of your existence. You will also add to them new and wondrous tools of technology of your own. We have gathered much wisdom from your previous civilizations that perished because of a lack of inner vision. We are longing to share what we have learned with those who administer your surface governments at this time. With open hearts, we invite all of you who desire and all of those who have connections with us from your incarnated experiences on our former continent to visit us in Poseid. So you ask to go there, you ask for permission, and you'll connect with them. Journey here in your etheric body and study with us the consciousness that led to the fall and the eventual destruction of Atlantis. We are now opening our doors to create special quarters in our cities to receive all of you who wish to reconnect and interact with us. We invite you to come and observe with love and without attachment the weakness and imbalances that were created then. We wish you to carry these lessons back to the surface where the wisdom gained can imprint the consciousness of those who now govern your dimension, those who have the inclinations to create the same mistakes again. And there are people on the planet from Atlantis trying to recreate this old destructive things. We wish you to carry these lessons back to the surface where the wisdom gained can imprint the consciousness of those who govern your dimension, those who have the inclinations to create the same mistakes again. While the halls of visitors and nightly classrooms of Telos are overflowing with the ever-increasing numbers of you, almost doubling your number each month by the thousands, and enjoying your new training and reconnections with so many former friends and family members, ours are almost empty. And that's where people got to start connecting with Atlanteans in Brazil and going into that fifth dimension to start bringing in this new healing knowledge. There is much our hearts long to share with you. We promise to give you just a pleasant and heartfelt receptions in Poseid as one you are receiving from the Lemurians and brothers and sisters of Telos, so they want to do the same thing. As much as you are longing to reconnect with your Lemurian family, we are longing to reconnect heart to heart with all of you as well. Nearly all of you have had incarnations in Atlantis. We consider you our former family members as well. The former beauty of Poseid, once displayed in the physical, has been replicated into the fifth dimension. Although with much greater level of grace and perfection, You will be just as delighted to visit Poseid as you are to visit Telos or Lemurian cities. We also live a life of magic and paradise that we wish to share with you in your future. The doors of Poseid are open for all of you now who wish to rekindle a friendship from the past or of the past. Eventually, we will also play roles in association with Lemurian emergence to the surface. We will once again walk amongst you. We talk. We thank you for your understandings and for the opportunity to be heard through this publication. We bless you for your hearts that love us still. So the people who still are attached to Lemur, I mean Atlantis and that, but ask to go to Poseid to connect with that. I am Galatriel, Atlantean brother of the past. On behalf of my brothers and sisters in Poseid, we send you our love and compassion and our deepest friendships and support. Chapter 12, The Children of Telos. So, Celestia, Elder of Telos. Greetings from Telos, I am Celestia. Today we have a class of younger and older children who would like to answer many questions you have. No need to say they are very excited with this opportunity. Our children spend much time studying the surface situation, as they are also very eager to understand and communicate with your children there. The first thing the children would like me to communicate to you, the most particular to the children of the surface, is that they are in many ways envious of the experiences that are taking place there. Although envy is not truly an emotion that we focus on here in Telos, the children of the surface have been given a most exciting adventure during their incarnation. They have chosen to incarnate at a time when there are extraordinary changes taking place on the earth, a time when everyone's energies are so important to these changes. And that's why they're trying to mess children up with pills and say they're ADHD and all kinds of crap. They're trying to get them to believe they have to have an operation and be the opposite sex and all kinds of crazy things are really messing with them. And that's where people have to start wanting to teach and be their protectors and that. Hey, Chris, the first thing the children would like me to communicate to you, and most particularly, so I read that part already, they have chosen to incarnate at this time when there are extraordinary changing taking place on the earth, a time when everyone's energies are so important to these changes. We are all living in a time when transformation is not just a wish or a goal, but rather a growing reality. Each individual living on the surface during this time, who is incarnated in the third and soon to become fourth and fifth dimensional physical bodies, is an explorer who is discovering new worlds and new ways of being. And that's why we're in that transition now. Yeah, at Temple 1, it's interesting, like with the new children. You, the children of the earth, You, the children of the earth, have gathered together for this life in many languages and locales to create a group project, shall we say, a group mural of energies that are pure and distinct from the current energies of the surface. You have gathered together to share in a great celebration of creativity. Each of you has brought new and wondrous gifts to this gathering. Each of you carries a precious piece of the vision that the planet will soon experience. You have come here to create the bridge between the old and the new worlds. And that's where all these children are crystal children. They're all starting to match the vibration of the earth, and they're going to create the new future earth. In truth, the change has already taken place in many levels and in many dimensions. So, in other dimensions, are already shifting into that reality. We're just getting ready now to move into this place where the future fifth dimension is. Now it is only for everyone on the surface to begin experiencing the awareness of these changes, of these choices of all who have made to bring these new energies into reality. Each of you incarnate at this time possess the knowingness of this new reality. It has not been with the spirit of sacrifice that you have incarnated on the surface at this time and in this place. Your heart is grateful and joyous about the transformations that you are becoming a part of. Many of you have trained for the adventures here in the school and classes of Telos. With us, you have studied the cultures and the energy patterns of the surface. You have communicated with beings on the surface who have been living for many years as advanced scouts, shall we say, preparing and holding the space for this grand adventure of yours. And some people have been here holding all of these kinds of things and wanting to help the children, even in the inner worlds. You have sampled the canvases and soul imprints of many family groups before deciding what family you would incarnate into. Many of you have incarnated on the surface, communicate regularly with the study groups here in Telos. So some of these children with telekinesis are always in communication with these beings, for it is indeed an ongoing group effort between the surface and the inner earth communities of the children. It's like some children are born and they know their other family and they cry because they want to be connected to this other family and they'll talk about it. You regularly send back reports to your activities on the surface, the most importantly, your reactions and emotions within the intensity of the third dimension incarnation. You send us mental accountings and visual images, as well as understanding that you have gained from working within the denser energies of the surface. This information is of great importance to the children here in Telos. They are interested to know not only how your adventure is progressing, but also how they can best assist you to bring about the transformations that you intend to accomplish on the surface. And this is where you got to encourage these kids to meditate and connect with these things. And a lot of people aren't doing that. A lot of people think kids are just daydreaming and idiots, or they're ADHD, or they're this and that. No, they're not. Their brains work different than what a lot of people understand. Like even those kids that like spinning plates and that, they're connected with these inner dimensions and they're always in communication, but they try to say there's something wrong with them. There isn't. Message from Luriel. Luriel is one of the elder boys in the class. Warm greetings from the brothers and sisters, from your playmates and classmates in Telos. We are almost besides ourselves with excitement and joy of communicating with you directly. Apart from you, though, we may appear apart Apart from you, though we may appear, we are actually right beside you during much of your adventures on the surface. We follow most avidly the work being done with the physical children, as they have been termed by the elders. These are our friends who are bringing much awareness to the people of all ages on the surface. These children are in fact very old souls who are in the absolute delight over these opportunities to share their knowingness and awareness with the planet. They do so in the guise of a child, without the responsibilities and burdens that seem to plague so many of the adults on the surface. They are able to carry out their missions as play. This is the most wonderful example for all on the surface. They are doing their best to live out the truth that we live here in Telos, that all work is play, and all knowingness comes from the innocence of experience, not the hardship. Joy is truly innocent experience, and your physical children are here to model this for you. So this is where the kids are connecting with that in all kinds of different ways. And some of them even talk about it. All children incarnating now on the surface carry and exit in an enhanced vibration. So they carry things like some of them will just choose to leave the planet because you say they have this energy they can carry, stay or go. Their DNA has been upgraded, shall we say, to allow for the higher levels of communication and awareness. They have not entered this incarnation separated from their understandings of who they are and why they are on the surface at this time. A lot of them remember their past lives, all kinds of stuff. And they'll tell you all kinds of stories and they'll, like I say, everything they're saying is the truth. They have been given many names such as indigos, psychic, crystal, violet, and other. In truth, these names refer to the class that they are entering with. And like I say, if you look at their auric energies and that, it can tell you all kinds of things about them. Just as on the surface, you all enter into schools as part of the future graduating class, such as the class of 2004. Each of these children is a part of the class that was entered into prior incarnation. So their groups come in because at other times they chose to go off. Now they're here because of whatever was in the past. Now they're going to change and fix and do all kinds of stuff. Each class was given a different assignment on the surface, and each assignment carries a different vibration. All classes, all assignments, all vibrations are part of the same school. However, just as we are all in Telos part of the same school, all classes are connected via the grid. This is a part of the grid that you have heard of so much about from the psychic children who use it to communicate with each other. And this is where they talk to one another around the earth, and they know how to do this. But the entire grid is much greater than all of its individual parts and form a communication system for the entire universe. This grid is a creation of the energies of the divine plan and is entered into through the energies of the heart. It connects all beings in the universe much as the internet does on the surface. The internet is, in fact, a third dimensional representation of this grid, although its true functions and usage has yet to be discovered and utilized. Your internet will eventually transform as the consciousness on the surface transforms. Some of the psychic children spent time in Telos or other Lemurian energy cities prior to their incarnation. Some come from other souls and planetary groups, so some come from other worlds and galaxies, and they brought in an energy, and that energy is really important, and you got to realize they have a different energy. They're different. You can't lie to them, you can't deceive. They see your thoughts, they know everything. Some come from other souls and planetary groups, but they are all here to foster fun, community, and joy. Approximately a third of the children who live in the area of Mount Shasta have been sent from our ranks here in Telos. We have sent many children as well as other cities and families around the planet. We could, in effect, call this the student exchange, our travel experiences, as do in some of your school. Here we view it as an incredible opportunity to practice all that we have been taught and to experience the extraordinary adventure that far exceed anything we could imagine. Many of us have been called the emissary ranks, as we call it, and our schools here in Telos. I am one of these. We are ambassadors of the fifth dimension energies who travel extensively to generate and hold this loving vibration so that the citizens of the surface can experience the acclimate themselves to this vibration. We do so on assignments that range from day to years in your surface time frame. We also do so in groups of individually, but we always report back all information, observations, experience, understandings to the entire class. The class itself then presents all that they receive to the citizens of Telos and the High Council. We too are a part of an ongoing work in Telos. Students on the surface are set apart from society as a rule, so there's a lot of these beings all over the planet trying to help. You study for many years and then you make a leap into society upon graduation. Students in Telos are always made part of the society, and contribution to particularly the special energies and all of the discussions and decisions that governs our world. Some of the younger children wish me to send their love to you and ask that I vision to you an image that they all carry with them in a special place in their heart. This vision is a great cavern that sits inside the mountain. It is so enormous by surface standards that you cannot see the sides and the top of it. So it does not seem as if you are inside, but rather out on the surface. There are many special places to travel in this cavern, but the one that the children wish to take you to now is to the shores of a very great lake. All around here, all around are hills and dales from which water fall in glorious colors, then travel into the lake. The rainbows formed in these falls continue into the water in the lake and create small glowing waves of color that wash onto the decorate and multicolored sands on which the class sits. All of the children of the class are present in this picnic and they invite you to join them. The picnic is for study and play because they want you to see how it is all the time. The younger students themselves teaching the lessons of today, and the teachers and elders are still sitting among the students to also enjoy the class. Each lesson is taught in the form of stories and songs that each student has created. They invite you to listen to these stories and songs and then create one of your own to share with the class. They ask that the lesson you create be one about the surface from your present incarnation. Although they monitor all that happens above ground, your impressions are unique. They wish to learn, to grow, and experience directly from you the wonders of adventures that you are presently having on the surface. You may visit us at our picnic wherever you wish, for all will gather when we hear you call. In the multidimensional that we exist here in Telos, we can gather in many places at once, in many aspects at once, and enjoy your stories and songs, even if engaged in other activities when you call. We bless you and look forward to playing with you in Telos whenever you wish to visit. And soon we will all play together on the surface when the conscious rises enough to allow us to come out. But for now, we invite you to engage and play with the children around you, for they are also us as well. Form blessings. And it says, message from Angelina. One of our teachers, Angelina, a healer, master, and elder in Telos, would like to address the question asked regarding hyperactivity of children on the surface. I am Angelina. I wish today to speak of both the children and the adults on the surface regarding hyperactivity and the use of certain drugs to control it. Hyperactivity is not understood by your so-called authorities on the surface. Much of the hyperactivity demonstrated in this present day generation of children is in fact their reactions to the overwhelming unhealthy environments in which they are living. And like I say, they're feeling paranoid and everything. They can't sit still, they can't trust or anything, so they're just hyperactive. Through this through the synthetic way you are creating life on the planet, your precious children are forced to experience a constant and abnormal overstimulation of their pituitary and pineal gland, as well as the overload of their physical senses. That's why they can't stay still. There's nothing wrong with them. Much has been spoken about diet and interaction with the mediums of television, music, movies, and these are also serious concerns. The constant bombardment of the senses by the microwaves technology, the waves from that are entering your energetic and physical bodies from television sets, cell phones, microwave ovens, disrupt the important ongoing transmutation of DNA structures that all of these children have come here to manifest. In your major cities, the disruption is so great that is that it is a wonder that the children and adults can function at all. Each day brings a new invasion of your basic energy structures by man-made energies that do not work well with the divine flow. These energies seek instead, by their nature, to invade and overwhelm a very energetic foundation around them. This technology is not dark in nature, but the use or misuse of it has created much of the darkness and distorted energy patterns that currently surround you and your children. It interferes dramatically with your intrinsic energetic patterns. It is very important that you take responsibility to provide as clean an environment as possible for your children to live in and especially to sleep in. Bedrooms filled with televisions, VCR, CD systems, cells, electric phones, electronic clocks, and other such items are to be avoided. Children must be given a balanced and clean environment in which to sleep regenerate, receive nurturing each evening. The level of toxicity in which they presently live with your foods, your building materials, your environment must be addressed and corrected. This situation is not conducive to their maturation and evolution in the manner that is needed for them to accomplish the goals they came here to manifest. And that's why they're, like I say, hyperactive, because their bodies, it's like they're, it's like when you have an allergy and your body starts doing all kinds of stuff. They're so hypersensitive, it's like they're allergic, and their hypersensitivity, they can't stay still, they're hyperactive because they're trying to find something where they could sit peacefully, but they can't. When they go to schools, they're being bombarded with all kinds of crap and they can't stand it. It's a kind of an allergic reaction, their hyperactivity. The buildup of heavy metal in children's physical system is also a major contributor to hyperactivity, as well as other nervous and systematic conditions. Water, clean water, is daily necessity for these children as well as for everyone else. In general, the liquids you and your precious children ingest through your mouths daily are harmful to your body and soul. The buildup gradually increases. You must work to clean up your water supplies and remove the toxic chemicals such as fluoride from your drinking water. Those of you who live in cities must filter your water before drinking and use products in your bathing that also filter toxic chemicals. There are many natural and effective products currently available to you that will reduce levels of toxicity, and you must acquire them rather than the culturally fashioned ones, and use them daily to ensure that every member of your family has a vital life force and a balanced system. You must reduce and eliminate completely the amount of soda pop, artificial drinks, coffee, alcoholic beverages, and other toxic substances that you have become so accustomed to ingesting as part of your daily diet. Pure water still remains your main source of liquid that will assist in balancing the body back to its natural and healthy state. In each instance, for each individual child, the situation is not to medicate them, but to correct the imbalance created in their bodies by their environment. What is needed to achieve this balance is different for each child. In any healing crisis, each individual has a set of characteristics that require a unique set of healing tools. The process of healing should be entered into with joint intention by parents and children together. In many cases, a child may not recognize the diagnosis of hyperactivity, but only knows that he or she is not functioning in a way that the adults and society deem proper. This kind of situation creates guilt and shame for the child, and it is imperative that this kind of circumstance be avoided. So don't drug up the children. Don't say they're ADHD or broken or things are wrong with them, because there's not. And they can see that in your mind. We are all being we are all beings desiring balance, and the more that the children can be shown the model of how to achieve that balance, the more he will gravitate towards it. The new children are here to guide us to a greater understanding of what maintains the balance and energy of the surface at this time. They are here to lead us to a more gentle management of our lives and a more heart centered approach to all relationships, both personal and social. My first suggestion to you to take your children to healers, or as you call them on the surface, a medical intuitive who has had experience with children. Ask for a snapshot of your child's current energetic state, for it is important to remember that the physical symptoms of hyperactivity are simply the body's reaction to an energetic imbalance. There are many natural methods that can be used to balance out your children's energetic bodies, and these include herbs, flower essence, exercise, meditation, yoga, qigong, tai chi. These children will benefit greatly from a mineral rich and balanced diet of good fruits, vegetables, grains, and adequate amounts of healthy protein. Because growing children in your environment still need sufficient quality protein, their diet should be a balance of all factors, as should yours, including acid and alkaline mix, natural rather than processed sugar content, vegetables versus animal protein, and sufficient living foods versus dead processed foods. There is also a lot that can be done energetically in terms of chakra balancing, color, and crystal therapy. Toning and drumming are very supportive of the system. Music therapy is very soothing form of balancing the hyperactive children or others. Session works in groups and individuals that involve both verbal as well as energetic therapy. It is also very supportive to their rebalancing. Creative therapies such as painting, drawing, writing are also very beneficial. Video games and excessive TV are not the answer. So don't make your TV and games the parent of the child. Don't let them sit there for hours staring at the TV and doing this or playing these games. The children who have incarnated on the surface are now working to rebalance their brain chemistry, their endocrine system, and their physical senses in order to access and run a higher vibration of energy. They have entered into reincarnation with a different limbic system that you possess, as well as a clearer experience of what their life forces should feel like. So they already know. This is why I tell you they know the future. And you got to understand and you got to help them to come up and become all of these things, but there's nobody out there doing that. And this is where when children come around me and Cindy, they get really calm. Children right away want to play with Cindy. Like right away, they'll start bringing out toys and want to play with Cindy, and Cindy matches their energy, and they really get along. And then children don't want Cindy to leave; they want them to stay. And same with me, we go and visit people, and their children want us to stay there. They don't want us to leave. They will rebel against all attempts to force them into a way of being that does not intrinsically resonate with their true divine nature. And that's where children will get really, really angry in school and everything when you try to force them. And teachers and in the school and that they're trying to force them. And then they start rebelling and then they start getting in trouble. Then they say, put them on pills. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. And then you make them believe they're broken. They're not, and they will short circuit at a greater rate than any generation before them if not given a suitable nurturing, calming, and supportive environment in which to live. They, their need for community, their heart supported community, is also very strong. And this is where mothers are going to start homeschooling their children. They won't allow them in a school system. The ties that they bring with them from the communities such as Telos and others will vibrate strongly in the emotional body. They must be nurtured properly. And that's why you gotta really, really get their permission and not when you do stuff with them or they'll just lose it on you. They will not choose to create only groups of children of their own age, but rather communities with people of all ages. And this is where when I was a child, I always wanted to be around the elders. I always wanted to know. And then I would hang out with older kids and then I would hang out with younger. But I would try to go in and out of all these different groups. They will gain much from any and all situations where they are invited to participate in groups and community activities, in civic and school activities that allow them to participate on a creative and responsible level beyond that which you currently accord your children. Letting older children work with younger children as mentors and letting all of the children work with adults as guides and muses is very wonderful work. It will go a long ways towards transforming the very core of your society. In truth, all things that will work that will help your hyperactive. I'll read that again, short circuit a bit here. In truth, all of the things that will help your hyperactive as well as other children are available well around you without the assistance of pharmaceutical drugs. You only need to make positive changes in your environment and the children and children's as well. Therefore, there is no need for narcotics. Their systems with drugs, there is no need to narcotize their systems with drugs that only control in every synthetic manner behavior that your society deems appropriate. It is counterproductive to recognize the system but refuse to admit and address the underlying cause. The solution comes from the use of tools and skills that you already have around you to assist your children. And this is where, like, what do you need to teach your children? I always tell people to ask that. These children are here to give us the opportunity to manifest mutual help and cooperation. In Telos, we are here to support you and them as well. We are here to show you the role models of how you can balance out your lives and others. The teachers and healers and children of Telos reach out every day to the children of the surface. We send them our love and blessings. We look forward to a time when the contact and communications become more direct. We invite the precious children of the surface to come and visit in Telos in their dream state, and we share with them the heartfelt desires to play together in vibrations of peace and compassion, love and light. Until we speak again, we wish them and all of you much joy and laughter. So it's just another page and I'm done. And so you got to get your children when they go to sleep to want to go to Telos, to go to the fifth dimension, to connect with these higher beings and bring in this blue and purple light and all kinds of other energies. And you got to help your children. You got to look at the environment, what they don't like. Like even clothes, sometimes you try to buy them clothes, they won't wear it because it's like they're an allergic reaction and they'll get really mad. Message from the children of Telos through Celestia, Angela, and Luriel. We are the children of the storm. We are the children of the fire. We are the children of the rain. We meet you in your dreams, and we want you to know that we love you. We like to sing to you of times to come when you will once again be united as one. The soul remembers and then sets out again to create a song for all of us to remember. We want you to know your song and the elements of who you are as we journey now across time and space. In all of the colors of the rainbow, we join you. We sit at your feet as the guide. We sit at your feet as you guide us. We stroke your heads and we love and comfort you and guide you. We are the children of all nations on earth. We are the children of all races of many planets. We are the children of galaxies still to be born and those long forgotten. We send our message of peace and understanding through every flower that greets you and every songbird along your path. We stand arm in arm with the divine hosts of broadcast vibration, sparkling energies of forgiveness and unconditional acceptance for all beings of the earth. As your heart and your inner knowingness picks up the frequency that this broadcasts, we ask only that you listen, that you feel the pulse of the energy in your soul, and children can do that. When we speak with our voices as well, and when we sing, you hear the words long forgotten that you once sang. You feel our melodies that we once sang together caress your soul. You begin to create new melodies from the old. We all sing together in harmony, which has never before been experienced. As we sing and create these new songs, the whales, the solar winds, the legions of angels join us. And as we sing again with a voice that grows stronger with each passing day, all beings rise up in celebration of this new vibration as it encircles the planet. We celebrate with joy that has long been lost, but today it is reborn in each one of you. You wander through what seems like a bleak time, and yet they are all in fact the brightest. For songs that have started anew and once began cannot be stopped. The family and friends from the inner earth and the distant stars that you hunger to rejoin are already singing with you. It is just for you to recognize again the frequency. Listen for the tones that we send you. You will hear them with your ears and think them to be your own imagination and the production of mechanics. But they are not. We are contacting you in your soul. We are reorienting you to recognize this frequency in your everyday world. You may hear a ringing or a chime, and that's where a lot of people are hearing ringing and sounds. Ever since I was a child, I've always had these ringings and sounds my whole life. You may hear harps or a background of soft voices. You may hear a buzz or a simple tone. These sounds may last an instant or go on much longer. Know that is the children reaching out to you, playing back to you the song that we all sing, training your ears and your human minds to once again recognize the communication and communicate this vibration. When you are in bed at night and the world of man made objects are around you is quiet, reach out with your hearing and your heart. Call us with your intentions. We will answer. Listen for the song that is beckoning us all home to a wondrous gathering of loved ones. You will hear it clearly then. As soon the sound will become familiar and a part of your waking hours as well. Sing with us, the singing to us. Sing about us, and we will sing about you. Our love for you knows no boundaries. Our hearts play with yours always. We love you. And that was a message to the children of the planet.